107.5 WGCI decides #1 for hip hop and R&B. It's the morning show with the Destin legend Leon Rogers, the beautiful Kendra G, myself, the shortest damn man in Chicago, Kyle, and you can see right now hanging out with us, man, the king of the South. The putting it out for years, man. T.I. is in the building.
T.I. is in the building.
What's the deal? How y'all doing?
We good, man. We good. So let's talk about a new project coming out, L.I.B.R.A, right?
Yeah, the Libra.
Libra.
It's an acronym, stands for The Legend is Back running Atlanta. And, it's a project that, man, I get up every day, come here and work on music, just out of, I guess, a force of habit. And out of my love for, creating. So I've accumulated so many songs and people just be on my head about when I'm putting it out. So here you are, we're putting it out.
I love it. The last album, Dying Trap, my song was Laugh at 'Em. I still play it when I'm in the gym because it gets me so hyped. So, you just turned 40. What type of songs are gonna be on Libra? Like, obviously you live a whole different life besides when you came out with Rubber Band Man. What type of music can we expect? Is it gonna be grown-up rap like Jay-Z once gave us, or is it gonna still be that T.I. trap music?
I think that's the beauty of it, man. The Libra, for one, the characteristics of a Libra is kind of that we are diverse and, creative and, what I'm saying? Our scales are either going to be balanced, unbalanced, or finding balance. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what this project represents. It's kind of like having 3 albums in one. So I broke it up into sections. So the first section is, as you just mentioned, the traditional trap music, unapologetic gangster shit that people expect to hear when they hear T.I., hear the name T.I. And then it goes into a section of, I guess you could say, lyricism, like, just the records where, you just impressing people with your skill set, and I think that's also something that people expect to hear when they hear T.I. And then it goes into a third section with socially conscious, reflective, introspective, kind of intelligent rap. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like Us or Else a little bit. So, and I think, I think that's the diversity that people have grown to expect from a T.I. record.
Yo, so I get it. My mom is a Libra, so the whole balancing the scales thing, she always trying to keep it even kills. So I get you 100% on that. But the title itself, man, I like the acronym that you spit. When did people forget kind of that you ran Atlanta? How much braggadocio is in this album where, you kind of thumping people on the head, letting them know, like, I ain't really win nowhere, but because the title of the album seems like you might have that T.I., that chip on your shoulder. Talking to a few.
Yeah. It's a new generation. You know what I'm saying? Hey, every year the little motherfuckers go into kindergarten. They need to learn what big. So I'm not gonna hold that against them. The fact that they wasn't living long enough to know the legend that is. So I think that, the only way to reacclimate them or to acclimate them for the first time is to bring about awareness. You know what I'm saying? And that's I think that's what we've always been able to do, bro. I was fortunate enough to work alongside the goats, the young goats of the game, and the goats at legendary status already. I'm talking about from Lil Baby and Thug and 21 Savage and 42 Doug and Mozzie to Jadakiss and Killer Mike and Snoop and you know what I mean, Jeremiah representing the shot and also Bird, Hitmaker. He did a bunch of records for me. So I think it's a diverse record. And it also is dedicated. I outside of the songs, like the production, the actual performance of the records, the things that I used to tie all of that in together were the voices of women. And also for the cover, you know what I'm saying, I used the representation of the beauty and the strength and the diversity of women on the album cover and the artwork. And those women, they are like, you know, they're not, this is not a monolithic representation of the feminine of the feminine species. Like, you got everybody from comedian Miss Pat, you know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Miss Pat, man.
Hey, listen, bro. Do you know Miss Pat?
Yes, that's my girl.
Okay.
That's my
See, a lot of people ain't here. So if you don't know Miss Pat, comedian Miss Pat, you are one Google away from the laugh of a lifetime. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about on real true G, like on gangster shit.
And a great story.
Man, an incredible story. I'm talking about one of a kind. Okay, but you know, from voices like hers, to voices like Rhapsody, you know what I'm saying? Rhapsody did some spoken word for me on one of the interludes. Also, Ernestine Johnson Morrison. She's an incredible poet and spoken word artist. She did a piece for me. There's a record that, you know what I'm saying, Tamika Mallory, she even, you know, came to speak. Yeah, she did some shit for me. And now the thing that I'm most proud of is my daughter Deja. You know what I'm saying? She don't speak at all, and she said she had something to say. So the last song on the project is Deja's Conclusion.
Nice. One thing about you, Tip, man, we done watch you mature over the years, man. From the time that you came into the game and you was just representing on them tracks, you know, putting it down with trap music. We've seen you grow and become the family man and watch your whole family on television as you've developed over the years. And then even most recently, as you've been more outspoken on social activism and things of that nature. And from what we can tell right now, you're adding Professor Tip to that list of accolades, you know what I mean? And you're teaching class at Clark Atlanta. Talk about that a little bit, teaching that business of trap music over there. What's going on with that?
Man, it was a phenomenal opportunity, man, that you know, that was presented to me. I went and sat with the is it the CEO or the HNIC over in Clark. And the opportunity was extended. And when we sat down and talked about, you know, what the curriculum could be and what the lessons that I could present in association with, you know, the professors and the teachers that are already, the educators that are already present, they you know, they were definitely eager to extend the opportunity and allow me to do so, and I appreciate it.
I'm curious as to what your curriculum is like. Like, I have a daughter right now who's in college, and her major is music business. So if she was in your business of trap music class, like, what kind of things are you touching on?
Well, the first thing we touch on, we cover, like, you know, what trap music is, and we also cover, like, why trap music is relevant and what the need for, like, because any business is supply and demand, right? And so if you want to be in the business of trap music, you got to understand where the demand comes from to understand how to supply it. Like, you know, you got to know what demographic, who's your consumer, who are you speaking to? So we go back to, you know, historically how Black people have never been able to just work a job, come home, and have enough to cover, you know, all of the bills that are associated with our household. So we always had to step outside of just a regular 9 to 5 and find ways to subsidize when white people didn't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? White people had grants. Let's just take a farmer, for example, you know what I'm saying? In the early 1900s, there were grants and subsidization from the government. They gave equipment, they gave land, they taught classes, they gave money and helped white people become farmers, to cultivate their land, to grow their crops, to, you know, build industries and create generational wealth for themselves. Black people ain't had that. You dig what I'm saying? So if a Black man wanted to be a farmer, he had to work hard as he could. Then he had to step outside of that, and he had to do something else, like sell moonshine or something, you know what I'm saying, to get himself, you know, enough to be able to do for his family the same way his Caucasian neighbors do for their families. Mm-hmm. So that kind of, you know, planted a seed for the need for extra income. And, you know, the government in their, I guess, their propaganda and their, you know, their ways that they like to, I don't want to speak too much on it. But we got into like the Contra scandal, the war on drugs, like, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
The government went and got dope from Nicaragua and then pushed it into the communities and then changed the laws and then taught Black people how to make crack and then locked people up more for crack than they did for cocaine and you know what I'm saying, and then they went and fought a war. They said they were looking for weapons of mass destruction. They didn't find none, but they found a bunch of heroin. So then all of a sudden there's an opioid crisis here. And what is the active ingredients of opioids? Heroin.
Yeah.
Is it a coincidence that it came straight from the same place, that they went out there to find weapons of mass destruction, didn't find none? Is that a coincidence? I think not. So as long as things like that happen nationwide, you know, like there will always be a need for people to trap. And if people are trapping, there will always be a need for trap music.
No doubt.
That's kind of like.
I love you, Tip, because you got so many different levels to you. Obviously, we just saw the educational part about the things that we've gone through as Black people in our history. And then you also got the, you know, I don't give a shit, T.I., who I fucks with too.
No.
Because so all summer, you know, we're going through a new situation with coronavirus.
I don't give a little bit of a shit.
Like, you don't care, you don't bite your tongue. That's why. So
why should I? Why should I? Like, for real. Like, I only care about things that have, you know, a hand in my life that could change my, you know, I'm the thermostat, not the thermometer.
Right.
You know
I love that.
You know, I change the temperature. I don't just detect what the temperature is. I change the temperature. The things that I do change the temperature. And I don't want to just be a motherfucker who's sitting around waiting on the temperature to change so I could tell you what it is. Like, that ain't me, you know what I'm saying? And I came in the game like that, and that's the way I shall remain, you know what I'm saying? The tail will never wag the dog.
I love it. And speaking of which, what I was trying to get to, on a lighter note, are we going to get this versus between you and 50 Cent? I saw Swiss Beat say verse 2 is coming. Are this something that you still want to do?
Absolutely. I'm ready today. That ain't a question for me.
Let's go.
Right now. What he done did is now he done let me get a whole nother column of brand new records now.
Yeah.
You better another season of Power. When Power come back? Right. Power. Is the new theme song?
Power Ghost Book is out.
Song. You got a new theme song?
No, it's the same theme song.
Oh shit.
Why do you think he's avoiding doing the verses with you?
You say what?
I said, why do you think 50 Cent's avoiding doing the verses with you?
I don't know. The best thing I could do is speculate. But I had a conversation with him, and you know what I'm saying? He said he wanted to do it. I think you know, maybe he's busy. He got like 4 or 5 shows he's putting out right now. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Maybe busy.
Okay.
Hey, Tip, man, America is at a critical point right now. You got the election. You got this violence against Black people by law enforcement, you know, Breonna Taylor. We're still waiting on that pot to boil over with George Floyd in Minnesota. You know, we don't know what's going to go on there. So, Tip, in your mind, Black people on the whole, if you had a message you wanted to give to Black folks across the country, what should we be setting our minds to be prepared for, and how do we react? Because I know Killer Mike said something in a conversation with you when y'all on the panel. We need to plot, plan, and strategize. But how hard is that when all this stuff that's going on right now is so emotionally charged, especially for us being African American?
Well, the first thing I say is, man, all of the problems that plague our communities right now, man, I'm talking about from substandard education, to less opportunities and much less exposure to, you know, I think exposure it plants seeds for ambition, you know what I'm saying? If you ain't never seen that, you don't know to want to do it, you dig what I'm saying? So I think the lack of exposure is plaguing us. You also have a lack of opportunities, which is like a lack of jobs, what we just spoke about, you know what I'm saying? How me and you both could have $100,000 and work a job that we earn $100,000 a year, right? And we could both have a 700 credit score, right? If you go in the bank and ask for a loan, whether for a small business loan to start up a vision of yours, or if it's a homeowner, as a homeowner, like to buy a house, and a white man going there, okay, with the same credit score and the same income, right? That white man is gonna get a better interest rate, right? And he gonna get the loan before you can. You did. So when you already have systemic items or protocols and procedures in place, right, to keep us back and hold a knee on our neck, if you will. I mean, 99% of all this stuff can be overcame if we just stick together. 99% of it, you know, it's gonna always be bullshit simply because, you know, I think it's an inferiority complex, you know. I believe they feel inferior, or not all, I should not say, but those in the supremacist category, those of the, you know, who want to use their white privilege and the color of their skin as, I guess, a weapon or some sort of leg up. You know, anybody who can only be tall if everyone else is living on their knees is a small person.
I feel that.
That was a poet moment right there.
Right.
Hey, Tim, before you go, I know you're gonna be a grandfather in a couple of months. Are you excited about this? How does it feel to be knowing that you're about to be a granddad?
Now, see, that ain't the term we use over here.
I feel that.
Well, okay, what do we call it? What do you call it? What's the word? What is it?
I feel that 100%. I feel that one. We ain't gonna use that one.
Okay, what do we say if you're not grandfather? What do you say?
Big dog. Big
What?
dog.
Big dog.
Big dog.
Yeah.
Make me the big dog.
Yeah.
You're gonna be a great grandfather. I mean, you're so good with all your children.
Damn, wait a minute. Not a great grandfather? Just wait a minute. I'm just getting here.
Right. One step at a time.
Made me a great grandfather.
A great granddaddy.
Right.
I said you're gonna be a great at being a grandfather. That's what I meant.
Oh, okay.
You're gonna be great
Okay,
at
you
being
say you're gonna be a great big dog.
No. Okay, you're gonna be a great
big dog. You know?
But is that gonna? Do you feel like that's changing you entering that new phase of life? You're 40 now. You're gonna enter the big dog phase.
I mean, to be honest with you, man, I think every day, I find, you know, ways to make adjustments to improve, you know, my life and the life of my family. You know, I think that's something that we all do, man. Life is a series of adjustments. You know what I'm saying? From the time you're born, you're making adjustments from, you know, holding your head up, sitting up on your own, crawling, walking, learning, you know, kindergarten up to school, driving, and you know what I'm saying? Life is a series of adjustments. Nothing ever stays the same. You stop adjusting and you start dying. And time you say, I'm gonna stay just like this, your head done started dying. You see what I'm saying? We must evolve to continue to operate within this universe. The universe is moving. And as it moves, we gotta move with it. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think every day I'm trying to make adjustments and improve myself.
No doubt. Tim, we appreciate the time, bro. We know you got a lot on your plate today, man. For one last word for Chicago, and just talk about the Libra, if you like. What's the last thing you want to say to the city of Chicago watching right now? Man,
I appreciate all the support. You dig what I'm saying? I think Chicago has always kind of been extremely supportive of me and the Grand Hustle family, man, for as long as we've been coming up there. You know what I mean? I ain't never had no negative experience in Chicago, for real. It's always a great time. I always, you know, come in, kick back. And it's always A1. Like, it's always solid. It ain't never no fluff on it. You know what I mean? What you see, what you get. It is what it is. You dig what I'm saying? And I really appreciate that. That's, you know what I'm saying, that's the walk of life that I come from. So you guys make me feel at home every time I come up there. You dig?
No doubt.
Go get this album, you know, because I think that if you represent real like I do, you know what I'm saying, you know it's all sides to that. So if you want every slice of that pie, then go get the L.I.B.R.A.
No doubt.
Hey, Tip, what you gonna do about them goddamn Falcons, man?
God damn it.
I can't let you get out of here. I can't stand you
over good.
What y'all gonna do about them damn Falcons, man? Come on, man.
Hey, man. Hey, listen. I'm at a loss of words. I don't know what the hell. You got to you got to work really hard to like be that inefficient. Like it's somebody working extremely hard at this.
Inefficient.
This magnitude of failure is not easy to achieve. You understand that? Somebody is working overtime. I don't know who it is, but I mean, I think, you know what I'm saying, but the organization has already, you know, shown that they recognize, you know, that changes need to be made, fired the coach. They got an interim coach that I don't know exactly who he is, but he's a black man. He looked like he mean business, so we gonna give him, you know what I mean, the benefit of hopefully he'll win 5 in a row, and you know what I'm saying, and you know we won't have this conversation to speak of.
That's right.
But until then, I think we should begin to. I'm gonna do a petition on what it takes to get Matt Ryan ass up out of here. You know what I'm saying? I think Matt Ryan ass got to go, bro. I'm not saying out the NFL. Just out of Atlanta. That's it.
That's how we felt about Trubisky.
Who the fuck is that?
That's that was our spot.
At least y'all didn't give him $30 million.
That's true too.
No you dig what I'm saying? Like that. But Matt Ryan is a phenomenal quarterback, and I don't want to take my
MVP.
You know, I don't want to take my opinion of him, you know, because my opinion of him only goes far back as the fuck up in the Super Bowl where he got them, you know, lost a 3 touchdown lead. It only goes back that far. That's all. Yeah, that's it. Just that. It started there. We put his ass under investigation then, see.
Oh, and no, Dallas didn't have nothing to do with it. 25 points to Dallas, and then Chicago come back.
See, that's what got him indicted. You dig what I'm saying? We had his ass under investigation since the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? We've been building the case on.
Brought the
his ass indicted. His ass need to goddamn don't turn himself in to another team.
If you got chance, I know you gotta go, but the album's called Libra. I'm dating a Libra guy right now. So what can you tell me about dating a Libra man?
Hold on to him.
Hold on, that's it?
Hold on to him.
Okay.
Hold on to him. You know what I'm saying? Keep him interested. You know.
Keep him interested. Okay.
We got ADD. But you take that and you do what you will with it. You know what I'm saying? Hold on to him. Keep him interested. Nah, but I mean, you know what I'm saying? We're real like compassionate. We're passionate about stuff, and you know what I'm saying? We communicators. You know what I'm saying? We gonna tell you what's on our mind. Like, you know, you ain't gotta wonder how I'm feeling. I'm gonna sit down with you and be like, look, that was some bullshit. I'm gonna tell you what. You know what I mean? Okay. I think, you know, and we appreciate when people communicate with us. Like a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, you put me in a situation where a person is expecting something from me that they have not verbally, you know, verbally requested, or they ain't made me aware of it, and they just sitting here expecting it in silence, and then they got an attitude about, you know, something I don't have no idea is going on.
Most women.
I'm not gonna be what's wrong with the problem? I'm gonna move on with my day because you ain't said nothing. I don't know nothing. Ain't no need in me, you know what I'm saying, ruffling my feathers about things that I'm oblivious to. So I think those are the types of, you know what I'm saying, those are the types of things you want to avoid with Libras, because once we don't care, we really don't care.
Okay. Thank you for that advice.
Give Kendra this advice real quick. In a relationship, should you test drive the car before you fully buy it?
We might wait until we get married to have sex, T.I. And I think that's a good thing. T.I., I think that's a good thing.
Hey, listen. Hey.
See, man.
I wish you all the happiness life has to offer. You let me know how that goes. Just let me know.
Got to test drive that car before you buy it, man.
You said y'all choosing to have it. Y'all choosing. Yes.
I think
you all are choosing to have it, or you are choosing.
No, both of us are in agreement.
Both of you are in agreement. He told you that. I hear him out. He said that.
Yes, he prayed. He asked God to send him his wife, and when he met me, he didn't want to have lust. He wanted to really fall in love, just like Russell Wilson and Sierra and Devon Franklin and Megan Good.
Can I tell you something? I have enormous amounts of respect for Russell Wilson. I have enormous amounts of respect for Devon. And I think they both full of shit. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't lying. I mean, that's just me now. You know, I tell them to their face, nigga, you bullshit, nigga, you just cap. I think you capping like a motherfucker. You got some something. You got some something. I don't know what it was. You know, I don't know what hole you dug in, but you got some something. You borrowed some friction from somewhere.
Right.
You borrowed some friction from somewhere. And, you know what I'm saying? Something happened. You know, hey, but I ain't trying to be a forbidden, but if you ask me my opinion on it, I think it's bullshit. That's just
bye, T.I. Time is
That's
up.
how we feel too, bro.
Right,
that's
man.
how we
Cheers.
feel too.
That's why you saying, man.
T.I.'s going out.
Peace, bro. We appreciate you, man. Thank you.
love and respect, man.
Peace.